Okay, fine. We'll continue from where we left. So in the last session, right, we started slowly writing playbooks. In the last session, we also saw how you can take an ad hoc command, then you can kind of translate into an Ansible playbook. And I already said playbook has some kind of structure. Just a second. Right. Playbooks has plays have tasks, and tasks have modules. So that's how the entire structure will be called off, right? Okay. So in the last part, what we did was we created only a single playbook which contains only one single task there. Now let's slowly start going into the next part. So now you see the advantage of using playbooks is, like I said, you can easily reuse the things. Now already I have one play, one task, right? So what I'll do is simply copy this configuration. Now I have an exact same configuration. And what I can do is simply, I can make more copies of it. So if you see 02, this is how it looks currently. Correct? Now this time, what I'll do is, I'll make some small tweaks here. I'm kind of rewrite the same data once again. I hope you are getting the point. So whatever we are seeing the screen, it will be repeated twice in that particular page now. Okay, right. Now if I say vim02, which I did not go with, okay, fine. Then I'll just make a copy of it. Now this is basically what you say, multiplace. N1 is there. I'm going to say here I'm saying this one should have N1 directory. And this should have N2 directory. And let's say I said we want to go with multitask, right? Now simply what I'll say, so altogether there are 4 tasks with 2 plays. This is play 1. Under this we got 2 tasks. So this one, let's say I'll make some other changes. I'll say ensure I'm using the copy module, and let me just go and check once copy module configuration. It takes destination. Instead of state, something like just n1. That's the content I just want to keep there. Same way, okay, I'll make sure. So play 1, play 2. Now I want to even write play 3 with only one single task, which will create some common thing across both the servers. Now what I'll do is, we'll also write the naming conventions properly. So N1 will be targeted, N2 will be targeted. Next, all web servers will be targeted, which are both. Now I'm going to say tasks. Some common task which needs to be executed across both the servers. I hope you got the point. Is this has 3 plays. Each play, first play is targeting N1 server, second play was targeting N2 server, third play is targeting both the servers. And accordingly, some has one task, some has multiple tasks. Now, I'm going to save this part. Now we will start executing the playbook. Right? So now it will do what exactly like what we saw in the ad hoc part. So first it is playing N1, then it is playing N2, then it played, what do you say, web servers. Here it made sure our file was created. Here it made sure the directory was updated and then the file was created. Here only that particular file was created, and you just can verify it now. What I'll simply say ansible. That's where I can simply use my ad hoc commands. I'll say all servers, use the module called command, say -a list, and you should be able to see N1 server has been updated with N1_dir, N1.txt, and also what do you say? So then N2, you see, you got your N2, N2.txt, and N2_dir. And here we did some small mistake. You see, for the first one, we didn't see any common .txt because I have wrote the, what do you say, play incorrect. See the play once again. So common is getting targeted only on N2 server, but actually it is supposed to be what? Which includes both N1 as well as N2. Getting the point is right. Now let's re-verify once again. And now almost everything will be up to date. Why? Because already it was created and updated. Only the common file is missing in the N2 server, and now that should be even updated. Sorry, N1 part, right? Now let's see. There you go. Now that common.txt is also available on both N1 and N2. Clear? So this is how the structure goes. Next what? you can exactly do the same thing using your ad hoc commands, like whatever we did, right? Installing the apps. So now you can exactly go with the same thing using entirely with our Ansible part as well, right? Yes. Now what I'll do is, similarly, now I'll slowly start working with my applications. So N2 server, it does not have any HTTPD, nothing, right? Let's verify that. N1 server has it. Why? Because in the last session, using ad hoc commands, we created it. Right? N1 was updated. Why? Because with the help of ad hoc commands, we did it. Now what I'm going to do is, I want the same thing to be done from playbooks point of view. Now I'll start preparing the playbooks. And also the advantage is what we already had all the configuration ready for us. Now converting this into playbook format would not be so complicated task. Now what I'll do here is, I'll come back here. Now we know we need multiple tasks to go and work with it. I'll take the copy of first one. I'll say, now always remember guys, so whenever you are working with playbooks, always keep a specific functionality in one playbook. Don't mix everything in one place. So what I'm going to do is, I know in the future, if I work with any application, web application, HTTPD is required, but the code might be completely different, right? E-commerce different code, food site different code, AngularJS different code, Node.js different code, but all of them, PHP is different code, but all of them, the common functionality is Apache is mandatory. So what I'm saying is, I'll keep Apache as segregated, my web applications as separate playbooks. Getting the point is right. Why am I keeping it? Why? Because I explained you in the last session, we have a concept called functions, like how functions can be written and they can be called, right? Exactly same way in Ansible also, you define one functionality in one playbook. That playbook can later be called from other places. Getting the point is, so here now my playbook is going to contain only things related to HTTPD. That's it. I hope you are getting the point. Now I'll say update N2 server. We only want to target it on N2. Why? Because N1 is already updated. Now I'll say ensure first thing. We know the module is yum module, right? In the last class, we used yum module. Instead, I can go with the package module also. This one also takes what? Name and state. Name, yes, let's go ahead and state, sorry. State equal to, that's what we saw in the last part. Now first let's check whether it's functioning or not. Now here we know the same thing, we can do it here. But we are interested only in service was not found, right? Yes. Now we already know Ansible -playbook, HTTP playbook. Same issue. What we missed is hyphen b is missing up. So now I need to make sure this needs to be performed as a pseudoverse access or root access. Now what I'm going to do is so here you got options, guys. We know for this HTTPD, there will be three tasks. One is installing, one is starting, one is enabling. And all the three require pseudoverse access, right? So you can write this thing. That B means become. You can say yes or true. Now this is applicable to all the tasks. No, you want to apply pseudoverse access only to specific task. You can do this also. For individual task, you can write it, or for the entire playbook, you can mention it on the top. Got the point, I guess? Okay, so it's up to you. So you can just say either you want it to be written on what do you say, this individual part there, yes, you can go with, or you can completely go ahead and update it on the top itself, right? Okay, but fine, I'll just remove it. Now this will install. Now let's go ahead and try to run the playbook once again. Right. Now it says the task got changed. It is installed. Now we need to make sure you enable and start the services up. Get back here. Now I'm pretty much sure what I need to do. Module is state started, right? Why? Because then we want to enable. So here name and enabled equal to yes. Install, start, enable it up. All right, yes. Now let's run the playbook and check. Installation already done, so it was up to date. Sorry. Acha, okay. So the issue was I didn't modify it to module name. I did not change it. So package does not support enabled. So that's what it was saying. Package only supports these options which we saw. I can only give like what enable. So these things, only these are the available options. Okay, right. Fine. Now I know what is the issue. Let's fix it up by saying service. Right. Now it got updated and now we are pretty much sure we should be able to see the app. right? Now I'm just going to keep this file like this. Why? Because in the future I can reuse it for multiple things. If I include my HTTP and this e-commerce site both in one place, then it becomes confused. So some places you don't need food site, but you only need HTTP to work. That's the reason why we are just kind of keeping them separated out, like granular, like functions. Now we need the site here. Same thing, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to prepare a new playbook. Copy. Getting the point is, ensure what should be there. Why? Because without Git, you can't clone the software. And that's what we saw in the last part. If it's there, then only you can pull the code. So name is package only. Should be Git. And next, once it is done, you need to get the code. Which module? Git module. So what I'm going to do here is, this we don't need. Right? Okay, perfect. All right, hope you got the logic. Right, guys? Yes. Now we can see our site should be up and running there. All right, yes. Now we can see whatever we did earlier with the commands, then you use them, what do you say? Sorry, generic commands first, Linux commands, then you updated them with ad hoc commands. Now you updated with them code. Now, can't I properly go and set the version controlling for all of this? Of course, right? It says what are all the changes you went through that. And I can simply say, now if you see, you have a series of history, how the things went. That's the advantage of having the playbooks. Like I said, you can have versioning, you can see how the changes happened. You can maintain branches. You can go with all those options, right? Okay. Now, fine, perfect, looks good. Now I wanted to show you a completely different approach. So till this point of time, mostly we did all the deployments using our CentOS operating system. Imagine right now, I want to host some site on Ubuntu. Getting the point is, now, if I apply the same playbook, it will not work. So if I need to go with the same particular setup, right, we had which playbook to set up HTTPD, it's not going to work. It's going to fail. Reason, let's say what I'll do is, in order to make you understand, I'm going to create another couple of servers which are of type Ubuntu. Then I'll show it manually how it works. Then we will use the concept called, what do you say, ansible playbooks. Then we will go with the patch. So now we have two nodes. I'm going to say launch instance. This time I'm selecting Ubuntu machines. I'm selecting 3 of them. One I'll show it manually. Second one I'll show with apt. Third, we will see it with your package module to understand the differentiation. Will not add the tags, no problem. But security group, I'll say all. In case if we go ahead with any other software also, we can use the same thing. Now we know there will be, what is a lot of new nodes coming up for us. So altogether we got 5 nodes, couple of CentOS and 3 Ubuntu nodes. Now I'll show you. I'll take N3 server. I'll take my address. And you see how the things will be differentiated. So we know our inventory is inside this path, right? Sudo web/etc ansible hosts. Now if I say ansible, better we'll make some group also so that it is easy for us to identify. We'll call the group as UB, indicating it's part of Ubuntu machines. I'll say ansible UB -m ping. It got failed. Why? Because Ubuntu machines, they have a separate user. Username is Ubuntu, but we tried to go with the user called CentOS, right? So you need to check all those things. You are working with some other machine, some other user was created, some other way is being done with authentication. You need to update accordingly. Which I modified it to appropriate name. Right, works, meaning we are good with this. Now what I'll do, I'll add all the remaining things. All right. Now I got all the servers ready, guys. Right, perfect. Okay. Now what I want to do is I'll try to take my earlier playbook and I'll straight away try to update it with this part and let's see what happens. Copy 03 HTTPD. I'll say 04 apache.yml, differentiating it. Only change I'll make here, sorry, not 04, 05, right? Okay. Move 04 Apache to 05 Apache. Okay, we renamed it. I'll say vi 05 Apache. I kept everything as it is. I'm not changing anything over here. Only change that I would make is, okay, we don't need this sample things. N3, one of the Ubuntu servers. I'm just keeping everything as it is. All it is, I'm going to execute the fifth playbook. So according to this logic, it should try to set up Apache or basically HTTP. It got failed. Reason because in Ubuntu, the way you work is completely different, correct? Hope you had some knowledge with Ubuntu. In case you didn't have it, let me show it manually. I'll take N4 server. Manually, I'll connect, and then I'll do the work. Then we'll take those steps. Then we will apply them within our playbook part. So N4 is a test machine for us to check whether the things are working or not. I'll do the same command. According to our logic, this is equivalent to sudo yum-y install httpd, isn't it? I hope you are getting the logic. So yum command is not found in the first place, right? So yum is not used. Here, the package name is basically called as apt or apt-get. Getting the point is? Now here, right, abd-y install. So here in Ubuntu machines, package name called HTTPD is not supported. Package name is completely different here. You know, it's called as Apache 2. But what happened? It failed. It says what? Failed to fetch these packages because this is an outdated server. Meaning our repos are outdated. So you need to update them, then you need to go with. So whenever you want to update what, you got a separate command for that. You can say apt or apt get, no problem. Anything you can go with. I'm saying apt update -y. This will update the system package manager, which in fact finds the new repositories or new mirror links to download your Apache package. You see, it went and it updated 34 packages, right? Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll try to install. Now, so you need to check out the points. Why am I saying it, showing it manually? Because whatever you do it in manual, that only exactly you need to prepare it from the playbook point of view. You see, now this time it's getting installed. Will not work because the package name is now I'll go and check the 4 server. It's functional. Now this you need to exactly prepare as a playbook by taking the steps. Getting the point is now what I'll do. Sorry, I'll get back to my actual what is it, Ansible server, and then I'm going to start modifying the playbook in such a way that whatever the manual steps we took, we need to go with it. Apache should be installed with which one? Apt package. Almost same, right? Only package name is differentiated. But if I try this will not work. Why? Because there are some additional steps required. When I said apt get install Apache 2, did it work? Didn't work. What it asking for? Update. So first you update, then you are supposed to go ahead and install and start and enable the service. So here one step is additional in comparison to your CentOS machines. So now I'll do the same thing. First thing what I need to do on my host N3, ensure apt is updated. Module name is apt. Let's see what it says for update. That's what we exactly did. Apt update or apt get update. Now what I'm going to do, it says update cache, yes or no. Then I'll also make 4 copies of it and I'll just keep it here so that you can use it for starting also. Apache installed. So what is the package name? Sorry, module name. You can use package also, no problem. Why? Because package is universal. That's the advantage, guys. No dependency. That's what I said. This is generic. Difference between generic and the what you say system specific is apt and yum are system specific. You give package as the module, it detects what operating system you are using, it will replace it. That's the difference when you are using what is it package module and normal system specific module like yum or apt. But I'm just showing this example so that package we already saw how you can go with it, but this is way you can go ahead and apply the technique. So better you use package. No, you want to do additional things like update and all this, then you go for apt. Okay, let's see, we got some question, right? Right, now Apache is installed. Name we need to modify now. What is the name? It should be started same way here. Present. Right, so we got HTTPD updated with respect to apt first. I'm like, sorry, Apache to updated first. Then it is installed, started, and enabled out. So all the manual commands which we executed, we kept all of them in the playbook format. Right, yes. Now let's verify the third node 3. Now you got the exact same thing from the Ansible playbook parts. Clear as I hope you got the point. So that's what we need to do. You check whatever you are doing it manually, and it's up to you. So you want it to apply on 2 servers, 3 servers. Now let's say for all the Ubuntu servers you want to install it, you can go ahead and check the same way. Now instead, you want to run this on all Ubuntu servers. What I'll do? Two servers will be already up to date. Why? Because one manually we installed, earlier we installed. Now third one will be automatically updated just like that. You see installation for N3, N4 already happened. So it just showed up that it is green. Yes, now we can see everything got updated accordingly. And now we'll be pretty much sure that our N5 server should also have got the point is like, I hope you got it. Now, same way, if I try to update the site, it will fail. Why? Because things from Ubuntu and CentOS are quite different. I'll show you one example. We already logged in one of the Ubuntu servers, right? This Ubuntu server actually. Git is pre-installed. So when you're deploying the site on Ubuntu, you don't need Git to be installed. And one more thing. So fine, Git is installed, right? So what you would do, you might want to do the deployment. Sudo git clone. You'll take your site address. You'll try to update it to that's what we generally tend to do. And I'm not installing it. Why? Because we just confirmed Git is already coming as a part of the default package in Ubuntu machines. It got failed. What it is saying? So this thing already is present. It's not empty. You read it, you'll get the point. It says before you continue to work with your changes, make sure you get rid of or replace it index page. In CentOS, it's not like that. In CentOS, it is by default empty. The document root is empty. But in Ubuntu, it's not so the same case. Getting the point, guys? Now what we will do? Now you need to keep the same thing as your, what do you say, page. We'll just check something like N5. Is it required? What do we need to do here? What module I can use? File module, what it takes? path, right? I think it takes path. What path? What should be the state? Correct. We'll delete it, then the clone will work. Getting the point is, now I'll go ahead and save it. Now I'll try to see. Clear, yes, I hope you got the point. So now I just showed you how the things are working manually, and just you're going and keeping them inside your, what do you say, Ansible format. Like this, we are going to see more things. Now you got to know how the basic things work, installations and all this. Next, I'm going to start working with configuration changes, conditions. Slowly, one by one, we'll start using different features of Ansible. All right, okay, just listen. Let me unmute, guys. Yes. Okay. If you have any questions, you can go ahead, guys. Yes. I just unmuted you. I hope you're getting the point, right? Like how you need to work. So it's end of the day, you try to see like what happens with your manual infra. Unless you don't know the manual infra, you can never use these tools. So that's the reason why I'm showing you manually. Then I'm trying to keep it in the Ansible format. The same thing you need to do when you go for your organizations. They'll show you like what and how it works. Now we need to start taking that earlier procedure and keep it in the Ansible part, update within your repositories. So that in the future, I don't need to repeat this work once again. That's the concept of Ansible. All right, good, everyone? Right. Okay, so next what we will do is, I'll show you a few more options. So right now, I'm writing multiple playbooks for setting up this thing, correct? But I want to have the things in such a way that a common playbook should be able to execute the things. I think people who went with AWS sessions, we use the concept called user data and metadata together. We took the conditions. If AMI ID belongs to Amazon Linux, this is the procedure. We need to use different set of commands. If I'm going with, what was the other thing? Ubuntu operating system, this is the procedure to go with, correct? That's what exactly we are trying to do right now. In Ansible, we'll see how you can fetch the information about your OS, then do some condition analysis, true and false, then apply the techniques. That's what we will see in the next part. Then slowly variables, all these things are going to come one by one. All right? Okay. Fine. Yes. So if you guys are good, then I'll stop it. In the next session, we'll go ahead and start working with more aspects from Ansible. Thank you, guys. And yes, if you want, you can just remove them. So you can just keep two servers and you can figure out. I just created it so that you'll have like understanding about it, but it's up to you. So you can keep them or you can delete it.